to when I grow up, I want to be a content creator. We're all grown up and we are content creators, but you know, you get the idea. Now the first thing is I just want to let you all know that it's a huge thank you today that this panel has been brought to you by Cure Cancer, Game on Cancer. For those who don't know, Cure Cancer funds groundbreaking cancer research for brilliant scientists to save millions of lives. Their community of researchers, fundraisers and partners take on every cancer, working together to find the most impactful solutions to this devastating disease in record time. Their vision is to cure cancer, and together we know we can. So thank you to Cure Cancer for bringing this panel here today. If you want to learn more about the amazing work that they do, you can go to curecancer.com.au/game-don-cancer. And yes, a huge thank you to them for bringing this together today. Now, what is this panel about? So let me tell you what you're going to get today. So I'm going to introduce you to these wonderful humans over here so you know exactly who's talking to you today. Then we're going to talk about content. We're going to talk about what do you need, what can you do in this space, what's available to you. And then it's going to be a time for you guys to ask questions. Anything you want to know about content creation, you're going to get that moment. So starting off, for those who don't know me, my name's DominoJack. I have been a content creator for over 5 years. I'll be coming up to 6 years at the end of this year. I'm a Logitech G affiliate. I used to be a featured Blizzard streamer and used to play a lot of Overwatch and Diablo, and now I'm a Path of Exile creator, creating a lot of content on over on TikTok mainly these days. Next up, we've got AlexandraLynne. Hello, Alex. Everyone say hi, Alex. Alex specializes in gaming and, AlexandraLynne is a seasoned content producer and creator specializing in gaming and community management. With over 5 years of experience, her passion lies in crafting captivating narratives through imagery with expertise in social media content creation and community engagement. Hi, Alex. How you doing?
Hi, is this on? Oh, yes, okay. Hi, that was a really nice introduction. Hi, everyone. Yes, my name is Alex. I am a content creator and I have been a content creator for about 5 years as well, I think. I also work for Game on Cancer, so the lovely chat is sponsoring this panel today. I am the gaming and community executive there, so I look after all of our social media, as well as that doing, content production for, about 5 years now, and was a live streamer before that as well. So very looking forward to the panel today.
Awesome, thank you for joining us today. Next we have the wonderful Trash on the end here. Everyone say hi, Trash!
Hi, Trash!
Yes! So Trash is actually a Twitch ambassador, and this will be their 4th year of streaming and creating content on social media. They focus on a variety of games, but more importantly, they have created a home for many people across the world, especially within the LGBTQIA and POC community. Welcome, Trash, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. And then next we have the wonderful Just Ellie Will Do, or Ellie. Everyone say hi, Ellie!
Hi, Ellie!
Hello. Ellie has been creating social media content for over 4 years now, alongside a current career in editing and a history of community management, filmmaking, and dabbling in game development. She has a wide scope of interests that she covers in her videos and streams, with a main focus on gaming, art projects, travel, and event coverage. Welcome, Ellie.
Hi. For anyone who just has like a lot of hobbies and wants to make content on all of their hobbies, I think I try my best to cover literally every little art project and traveling thing that I do. So I hope my input helps.
It will. Lovely. Thank you so much for joining us today. And last but not least, we have the wonderful Jayden. Everyone say hi, Jayden.
Hi, Jayden.
So Jayden, also known as NJayHighwayss, has been a content creator right after finishing school, but it didn't really kick off until 4 years ago. His content focus is mainly gaming, tech reviews, and in real life content. He's currently an Elgato ambassador and an Ubisoft partner, and his community describes him as a living meme and that his content is a great escape. Welcome, Jayden.
Hello. Oh, geez. What's going on? I'm also a massive Jurassic fan and stuff like that, working at Universal, all that jazz. Hello. Hi.
Yeah, welcome. Well, thank you. Welcome, everyone. And look, we're going to get into our first round of questions. And first up, we're going to talk about gear. What physical gear, what software do you need to get started? Are there some non-negotiables? Are there things like you're going to need that to get your content off the ground? And then when you're doing that, what platforms do you need to create on? Where should your content be living? Is it a YouTube? Is it a Twitch? So over to you. Who wants to answer this first? What sort of gear and platforms should we be focusing on? Do you want to go take it away, Trash?
Well, the main important one to stream is OBS, probably. So that's the broadcasting software that you use to kind of broadcast your Twitch, YouTube, or anything, TikTok as well. And I think that's like one of the most important things to start with, and then the gear after that as well.
Oh, the gear. Oh my goodness. I think one thing that gets overlooked a lot when it comes to gear when you first start is having really good audio, and that doesn't have to be an expensive thing either, but a lot of your viewers and community can overlook bad visuals, but they will not forgive poor audio. They need to hear you. So getting yourself a pretty good microphone setup is, I would say, a really big priority.
Yeah, as well as that, probably monitor and another screen, depending on your phone, a tablet, making sure you have two screens all at one time when you're streaming, just so you can see chat, notifications, all that jazz. And yeah.
I think there are a lot of different types of creators, and if you choose to be one or start with like a webcam, a lot of people, like Alex said, can overlook like bad vision, but you can start with a really cheap webcam as long as you have good lighting. I think good lighting is a necessity, because you can have the most expensive webcam, but if your lighting isn't good, then it probably won't look good. But if you have a terrible webcam and good lighting, it actually turns out okay, and it doesn't break the bank.
And I think as well, like just to add to that, you know, I think getting into content creating now is so accessible. There are so many inexpensive options for lighting, for microphones, for webcams, and I think I speak for all of us that, you know, a lot of my setups started off, you know, Amazon and maybe Kmart. So,
yeah, Kmart.
So there's definitely Kmart. We love a good Kmart gear. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, it's become a lot more accessible now. I would love to know the webcam that we all first started with. I started with the Logitech C920, so that was like the cheapest webcam I could possibly find.
Yeah. Like looking at the photo that you see on the screen, it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
I literally started on my bed with just a camera and just one monitor set up, and then it kind of just grows from there. So you always just start small.
Yeah,
and
start with
then
what you have, right?
Start with what you have always, and then just kind of grow from there, or like invest later on if you really want to. But honestly, yeah, you can just start from like just one single thing.
I do want to jump in just quickly
Honestly,
again.
I love the question Alex asked about what camera everyone started with.
Yeah.
So do you know what camera you started with?
So I actually started streaming straight from my PS4. So I had a PS4 camera and like the dodgiest headset. But as long as I had like good lighting, I was using a lot of natural lighting, so I could actually be lit up in a tiny little box that you start with on the PS4. And then from there I went to a Razer Kio, but the only reason I went to a Razer was because it was actually on sale at the time, and I was like, oh, save a little bit of money, and yeah.
It's a pathway we'll have to follow, you know. I think starting from that, and then I think everyone at one point has owned a Blue Yeti microphone from Logitech, I think. But yeah.
My first mic was my school laptop camera.
Like
And that was it. And then I think my Xbox headset was like my mic. It was so bad. It's even on my YouTube channel still, playing Destiny, just out of school, just doing that. My first ever camera was probably the Razer Kio as well, because I worked at JB Hi-Fi and it was a mad sale, so I got the Razer mic and Kio all on discounted. And then, yeah, it kind of kicked off from there.
Yeah, amazing. Oh my goodness.
And then what platform should I create on? I started with, actually not even on Twitch. I started on Mixer, but it got closed down now. But then I moved to Twitch, and then now I do TikTok as well at the same time.
I didn't realize that you started on Mixer.
Yeah, I started that in like 2020, and then they closed down after 2 weeks, and I was like, well, what now? And then I started on Twitch because my friend introduced me to it, and look at me now.
Twitch
wild.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. Like, I think there are a lot of platforms to choose from, and there are a lot of different platforms for different styles of content. I also started on Twitch as well, and I'm now a Twitch partner. I love Twitch. Twitch has such a special place in my heart, but I think I would be doing everyone a disservice to say you have to diversify your content. Like, that's really important. You know, like streaming on Twitch is one thing, but you know, splitting yourself across platforms, and I'm sure we'll get to that question at some point as well, but being able to make content across other platforms, YouTube, you know, TikTok, Instagram, all of them, I think is incredibly important. And even if you don't have the time to do all of them, maybe focusing on one or two specifically, but I don't think focusing your time all on live streaming is the best option. It is an option, but I feel like you should definitely diversify that way as well.
Yeah, I started on Twitch for like 3 months, and then I moved to Mixer for 6 months, and that's where I kind of grew. And then sadly, shut down, RIP. And then I went back to Twitch, and then yeah, I kind of kicked off from there, and then started going on YouTube, uploading on there, then TikTok and all that stuff. But nowadays, it's really, you can't really just stream anymore. So I think the best thing to do is kind of, if you're playing, say, video games like Fortnite, Overwatch, if you're just playing, just edit little things, post on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, grow a community from that. And
Repurposing.
Yeah, so I'm the same. I started on Twitch. I did want to start through YouTube, but I had no idea how to begin, and I had some friends that were already streaming from Twitch, and it was the easiest to set up from the PS4. So yeah, with wanting to grow on like YouTube and stuff as well, I felt like the growth is a little bit easier over there, and Twitch is a little bit harder, but it is more community based. So people come in and will continue to come in because they just like spending time with you presently, which I really love. Twitch has a special place in my heart as well. But now I post to YouTube, I post to Twitch, and I am also streaming from TikTok as well at the moment. And TikTok's great for diversifying content, posting stuff, and to grow your audience once you hit that algorithm as well. So.
Anyone else want to add anything? No? Cool, awesome. All right, well, let's head on to the next question. So the next thing I want to talk about is what type of content you can create. There are so many different things you can do. You can do in real life content, you can do gaming content. There's so many options then. But if you do create content, also once you're creating your content, how can you stay safe online when creating this content, especially if you're doing in real life content, guys?
I think I can. I've been doing a lot of vlogs lately and like IRL content. For example, in the photo that you see here.
Jump scare.
Jump scare. So I try to run like dance classes with friends, and I think the most important thing is just like never try to reveal where you are at the time, because you never know who's going to show up or stuff like that. And just trying to hide like little details of like location or like just in case someone comes up to you or something.
Yeah, keeping it ambiguous, I think, when you're like, because I mean, a lot of people will go out of their way to try and like pinpoint where you are from landmarks and whatnot. So yeah, making sure that everyone is on board with keeping things sort of like, yeah, relatively ambiguous and not sharing anything about your location or any other sensitive information like that, like your own personal information, you know, like last names, etc. Like you want to keep yourself safe.
100%. It's just, you never know what's going to be out there. I have many stories, but I probably don't want to talk about it on here.
This might not be the forum for that. I think, yeah, unfortunately, I'm sure we all have stories about like being doxxed and data being leaked. So you definitely want to be mindful about, yeah, the information that you share online. In terms of, sorry, I feel like I just cut you off. No. I guess the type of content that you can create, I am very much of the mindset that if you have a passion to share or you have something that you want to share, there is always going to be an audience for it. You just need to find a way to bring that to that audience. So making sure that whatever you're creating is somewhat marketable and you're sharing it on the right platforms for that. So for example, if you do want to be a big Fortnite streamer, like making sure that you're posting on other platforms and collaborating with people within that community if you're at the correct age to do so. I think that's really quite important as well.
Yeah, just touching back on that, as long as you're passionate, informative, funny, or just pretty much engaging, you can pretty much make content on anything as long as you hold those standards and stuff like that. Like for me, example, I make a lot of content on Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, something I'm really passionate about, something I'm a fan of, and that's like my side thing from content creation. And it sometimes does well better than what I actually, which is surprising. But yeah, as long as you're engaging, passionate about it, and informative, I think you can really do anything and take it to the moon.
Yeah, so like I said before, I do a lot of just like random art projects and sort of make content on anything and everything that I'm interested in. I can pick up hobbies so quickly and then like fizzle them out so quickly as well. But a lot of the content that I produce caters to the platform as well. So for my TikToks at the moment, I do a lot of event coverage. So there will be one going up about Generation Games, just to show people what was here and what we saw and what we did. I do unboxings over there and stuff as well, because a lot of people like unboxings. For YouTube, I've found that either my old streams do okay, and when I cut them up and edit them, if people want to see what I've done in the past, or like travel vlogs and stuff too do really well.
The travel vlogs.
Yeah. 100%. They're so good. Thank you. As well as occasionally for these events and like SmashCon and things coming up, I will attempt to make a cosplay. I am very much an amateur when it comes to that, but sometimes like a process vlog of how I did it, or even live streaming that, can really take off because people like seeing things be created and also just like to chill and watch people do the things that they want to, basically. So yeah, as long as you're very passionate about it and you're having a good time, and a lot of people will show up and will support that.
Thanks, guys. All right. All right, next question. We kind of briefly touched on about it, but let's talk about how important social media is alongside your content creation.
I guess I can speak to this. Yeah, so I would argue that social media is probably the most important part of content creation. I think it's so valuable to, I think I mentioned this earlier, to diversify your content. So, you know, you can go live on Twitch for, 8-10 hours a day, but no one's going to know that you're live unless you build yourself up outside of those platforms. So you have an absolute laundry list of platforms that you can be on. And I think we touched on this earlier, but TikTok is such an amazing platform for visibility. Like being able to be discovered on that platform I think it's really incredible. But yeah, as a community manager myself, if I want to work with a creator as well, I find it incredibly valuable to go and see someone's socials. I commonly look on things like X, or formerly Twitter. I'll look at their Twitter, their Twitch, TikTok, and see how present they are across all platforms before deciding to work with them as well. Like seeing that someone is consistent across the platforms, I think is really important.
100%. I think all of my networking is done from Twitter specifically.
It's like LinkedIn, but for like creators.
Yeah, it's like LinkedIn for creators. You just meet so many different people, managers, community managers, other creators and stuff like that. And it's also just it's not a professional place as well where you can just like roast them and like you can build a good relationship from social media, and then that will build up your brand and build up that relationship. So when you do meet in real life, like it's not nerve-wracking. It's like you come from like a place where you kind of know each other already from Twitter or like Instagram and stuff like that. And yeah, this is a great way to meet people.
I can go, okay. That is my Twitter page that we are looking at on the screen. So I did want to talk about it a little bit. Basically, just from what you see, like my Twitter banner shows the cosplays and the outfits that I have done in the past, so people know that I do cosplay. If they go to my account, there's also, I've got a pinned tweet there, which is updated media kit. A lot of creators will post a media kit, pin it to their profile. So brands and other companies and things know who they've worked with, like the analytics that they've got, and we regularly keep them updated. I think that's a great way to connect with people and to show what your accounts are all about. And yeah, just like in my description and stuff, I've got a little bit of what I do and who I am, and then a link to my other socials is always important.
Can I add to that really quickly?
Yeah.
As a community manager, if you are if you're taking content creation seriously, please put your email in your bio. It helps a lot. It's very important for us to be able to reach you, but also this guy gets it.
I used to do community management as well, and the amount of times where it's if I want to reach someone, the email is the go-to. If they don't respond to the email, we try to look for a platform that they've got their DMs open, but a lot of the time it's a little bit unprofessional to reach out via DMs.
Yeah.
So email anywhere and everywhere is important.
So important. And just to add to that one more thing, I noticed, and you've done an amazing job with this, in your description, it's really important to list out the things that, I guess, a little bit about you as your content creating journey. Not only does it give the person who's looking at your profile a bit of an idea about who you are at a glance, it also helps with things like SEO, which is search engine optimization. So if someone's Googling, Zelda affiliate, Twitch affiliate, it's going to help you pop up on searches. So being able to do that, I think, is really important. Sorry.
Yeah, no, ditto to everything all these amazing people said. I can't really touch on anything. They just covered everything. But yeah, as long as you're consistent on social media, that's pretty much the main thing. Just be consistent. I can't say that enough. As someone as well from Western Sydney, you get that stigma. But if you work hard, consistent on everything, you'll get places.
Awesome, thank you, everyone. All right, next question, and maybe we'll start with Jaden for this one so you didn't get to talk too much for that one, but let's talk about the myths and realities of content creation. So a lot of the times we find people will look up to content creators and be like, oh, that's such a cool job, it's so cool, I want to do that. But there's actually a lot of things behind the scenes that maybe people don't see. So let's talk about it, Jaden. Let's talk about the myths and the realities of being a content creator.
Yeah, no, it's pretty, it might get a bit deep here, but your closest friends will make fun of you, probably. That's the harsh reality. You will lose a bit of people here and there and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, as long as you're passionate about it, then those opinions shouldn't really care and all that jazz. But yeah, there'll be kind of just bullies out there and stuff like that, and that's just something that you have to be aware of and stuff like that. Not everyone's a nice person. But yeah, as long as you got that, you got a strong mindset behind you, you can get through it.
This time it's my timeline on this. So, yeah, I guess one thing that I would love to speak to is I think a lot of people think that content creating is all the flashy things that you see online, where it's like all the events and getting the promo and all of that, whereas in reality it is really quite difficult, and it is a job like anything else. You know, you'll spend countless hours working, you know, well, I know me personally, actually I know all of us will spend countless hours working until midnight, 1 a.m. trying to meet deadlines, trying to get things done, and it can be quite taxing. You will also be working on things when all of your other friends are going out and doing stuff, so you'll be sacrificing those moments, which can be quite difficult sometimes. But I will say it is one of the most rewarding things you can do, and you get to meet some of the most incredible people from it, and I personally am very thankful for it. But yeah, there is a lot of, I guess, admin that goes on behind content creating, so making sure that you prepare yourself for that and treating it like a business, essentially. I think a lot of people forget that content creating is a business, and making sure that you look at it as such. And that's not to say that you can't treat it as a hobby if you want it to be a hobby, but if you would like to, I guess, quote unquote, be successful with it, you need to treat it as such. Yeah.
And I think all of us here work at like a 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of struggles when it comes to working at 9 to 5, plus doing content creation on top. But yeah, again, like it is rewarding at the end of the day. Like I get to travel all around the world because of content creation. But again, it's like there's a lot to it behind the scenes, and you just have to be very hardworking, very consistent, and very, very passionate. Otherwise, once you lose that, it gets hard. It gets hard.
Yeah, so I wanted to touch on that as well. Like, we all do have jobs outside of our content creation, so finding the time is very hard, and it does affect health as well. Like, I'm taking it, like, currently on a little bit of a streaming break. I'm still making content for, like, YouTube and TikTok and stuff, but I'm not currently live streaming just because I have some health things going on, which just has to do with stress and being tired and, yeah, a whole lot of things. A lot of people don't realize that content creation, it is a full-time job, but it's not just one job. It's like multiple roles in one.
You're
So
a
like,
manager, you're an editor, you do all this
yeah, you're like a script writer. You are just producing so much content, audio, like taking care of like this whole like production
business. Yeah.
And it's either one or the other. Like, someone will think, oh, it's super easy and I'm going to make so much money and, like, you know, take off really quickly, or like it's super, super hard. But as long as you're passionate and you do what you love, like, don't force yourself to just make content on anything because it's the hype at the moment as well. Because if you're not enjoying it, then you're just going to run yourself down and burn out so quickly.
So it's really important to take your breaks.
Yes, take care of
I
yourself.
think another thing to point out is, I don't know with you guys, but it's hard to like switch off.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that's another point.
Yes.
Especially when you're in content creation, you see trends and stuff like that. Say you just finished work and then you finished creating content or whatever, and then you see something new come out. It's kind of like, okay, I got to jump on that and stuff like that. So it's very hard to switch off from the digital world, because even when you want to take a break and browse social media, you're still looking at stuff for content creating and stuff like that. So
I can't go to an event without going, oh, I need to film what's going on here.
Yeah.
Like, I need to show everyone what I went to today. So,
Literally.
yeah.
Even going to like dinners and stuff, it's like, oh, content.
Capture everyone that's here and the food.
The camera eats first.
Yeah. That's right off.
But that's another thing as well I want to touch on is before working with Game on Cancer as a community and gaming exec, I was a full-time content creator, and I did that as my full-time job. And the reason I went back to a 9 to 5 is because of those inconsistencies. It is very up and down. Some months will be the best you've ever had and it'll be on top of the world, and then other times you'll be kind of scraping to get by. So I think that's something that a lot of people think influencers and creators have this like lavish lifestyle, where in reality it can be quite taxing. Yeah.
So I used to work corporate life. So I did it for 2 years in marketing, and then I quit because I'm always traveling, I'm always doing something. So I kind of went back to retail, which I love and I still love it. But it made it easier to do content creation on the side as well, and my workplace understands that, and it's really nice to have that work-life balance. So now I can take leave whenever I want, and it's great. But again, it can be very taxing because I would work my day job, I go home and stream on Twitch, stream on TikTok, edit, and then I finally have my downtime between 12 to 1 a.m.
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat, day and day. But like, I love it. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm going to TwitchCon this year, which is in Europe, so I get to go there. So I'm excited about that, going for the first time. But yeah, like, it does take you places, but as well, always put yourself first and always take your breaks, because it's really important.
Jaden, you said something that I think is really kind of resonated with me, which you talked about switching off from the content. There are times, so like, I'm very thankful to my fiance for this, because he will notice, like, we'll go to something and I'll like pull out a camera or go to and be like, let's just experience the moment. And I'll be like, you make a good point. And you get lost in it as a creator. You're like, I have to take content of this. And so I think, yeah, that was a really interesting thing to flag.
Yeah, well, my fiance points it out to me all the time.
Oh, so we have the same thing.
Yeah, so when I finish streaming, yeah, like around 8 or 9 o'clock. I don't even have dinner because then I'm editing everything from that stream or whatever. By the time that's done, 10, 11, and then you need your wind down time from when you finish work and stuff like that. You got to wind down. But sometimes you're not winding it down until it's like, past midnight, and then your partner's asleep. You don't spend time with them and stuff like that.
Shout out to supportive partners.
Yeah,
I was just trying to say that. Shout out to our wonderful partners who are supporting us in all this.
But yeah, it's very, you just got to remember, to switch off. Even nowadays, like as soon as it hits 9 or 10, I'm turning my phone off and having dinner and spending time and stuff like that.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, on to our next question. So for anyone who's here today who wants to learn more about creating content, streaming, all of that, are there any, where can they find resources? Where can they get more information, more help? Does anyone have any tips here?
I think YouTube and TikTok is probably the most that I find very useful because I like to work with visuals and stuff. But also everyone on there just makes great content on how to do these kind of stuff, and that's where I find help most of the time. So I think that's something for me.
I took the words out of my mouth. I think there are so many good tutorials on YouTube, and I think the nicest thing is that they're coming from creators themselves, so the language they'll use is really, it'll resonate with you, ideally. But I guess some channels that I'd like to point out would be Stream Scheme. I know LJ who runs the channel personally, and his tutorials are fantastic. And then Harris Heller who runs Senpai Gaming, so that channel is fantastic as well. But beyond that, there's so many free resources out there as well. So analytically, there's a great website called Metricool, which is a wonderful website that you can use to plug in all your socials to grab your analytics, so that you can easily take that to companies and start to pitch yourself as well. But yeah.
Yeah, I would say YouTube is probably the best one, especially if you don't know what to do in the sense of in this content creator space. You can watch your favorite YouTubers, see what they do, and adapt your own style to that. So say if you're watching Ninja or whatever, you're like, oh, I like what he does, but I want to do something different, but still kind of keep it the same. And just put your own little spin on it and just create what you want to create, but it's still different and still you. Yeah, TikTok as well. And, yeah.
Yeah, so I know of one that's a great way to reach out to brands and stuff as well. There's a site called Fairly Odd Streamers. I don't know if you guys have heard. It has websites and links that will take you to different documents and stuff, so you can figure out tech stuff. But also it takes you to sponsorship and affiliate pages and stuff if you want to reach out to certain brands, which I think is really cool. I am a big fan of YouTube tutorials as well. I think it's just the main thing that anyone will go to, how to set up an OBS scene a certain way, absolutely, YouTube is where to go. And then I know even on TikTok, I want to give a shout out, I know she's not here, but Elmza, who does, I love Elmza, she's such a good friend. She started streaming on a MacBook laptop, I'm pretty sure, and has built up this wonderful community, this wonderful stream set that she's got going on, and she posts about everything on her TikTok page on how to set up sound alerts, to how to set up little gifts to appear in chat redeems and things like that. So you can find creators that will post that content as well, and I think that's a little gold mine if you can.
Would we say a panel like this is a good resource?
Oh yeah, I think I think another thing
this panel's great, but once they leave here, but look, as many people have said, YouTube, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm constantly Googling or searching things on YouTube on how to fix things in OBS or how to do things in OBS, because I swear every time there's an update, I forget how something changes and I don't know how to do it anymore.
So just to add to that as well really quickly, I know, this is going to sound a little bit silly, but to this panel, right? I think if you're starting to make content within a community of people, even reaching out in an appropriate way, obviously don't be weird about it, but reaching out in an appropriate way to the people in your community, whether it's, for me, I started speedrunning The Legend of Zelda, and The Legend of Zelda has a really big community, especially here in Oz, so reaching out to those people in a really gentle way was really wonderful, and it allowed me to build my own network and community of friends around that as well. So I think that's quite important.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, I think we're on to, question time. So if we could get a hand from someone, one of the lovely volunteers from Generation Games, and they'll grab a microphone. If anyone's got any questions, put your hand up. Now's the time to ask anything you want to know about content creation or from our creators. Yes.
Hi, what has been your favorite bit about content creating, favorite moment?
My favorite moment?
Probably going to TwitchCon. I think traveling is probably the biggest thing for me. I've gone to Vegas last year, San Diego the year before for TwitchCon, which is a convention that runs across 3 days. And then this year I get to go to the Netherlands, so I'm really excited about that. So that's probably my favorite thing, and meeting everyone as well.
I mean, that's a big thing to follow around. I would say, as a whole, the events that we've done, I think being able to come up here and being able to talk about what we do is just such an enjoyable thing to me. But if I could like look ahead a little bit to the future, next week we're going to be going to DreamHack. I think I speak for all of us for DreamHack. I'll be doing probably the biggest panel that I've ever done there, and I'm very much looking forward to that. So that's going to be probably my highlight ahead of time. So,
Yeah, I have two that pretty much stick out to me. Shout out Cass and Fit, because in 2022 they flew me out to PAX in Melbourne, and before that I was gonna quit content creation because I wasn't seeing anything and stuff like that. And then ever since that moment, everything's kind of snowballed and turned into this now. So yeah, without them, I would not be here. And I always say that, and I'll say that again. So thank you guys. And then last year, probably a big moment for me was the Jurassic World Exhibition Centre, meeting Universal and all that, and just actually meeting the people that create your favourite film and them complimenting you and stuff like that, and just big American execs. It was just a really crazy experience and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd say that is probably my two favourite memories.
I think I've got a couple. So one is just being able to share like the experiences that we have. Like it has to be one of my favorite things because I still have that like imposter syndrome. I still consider myself like a really small creator, even though I get to come to events and like represent as a creator. And I just think it's really cool to be able to share that. And then I have a couple of moments like just people that will eventually like come into your community and just be like, I'm so glad that like I got to spend this time with you today because I was feeling a little down and things like that. So yeah, the events and the opportunities are awesome because they do come with time and as long as you're passionate, but also just helping to encourage someone to create content, but also make their day a little bit brighter is probably, this sounds really cheesy, I'm sorry, but yeah.
I think my favourite moment of content creation was the first time I ever got to be featured on the Blizzard launcher for Overwatch. That was pretty huge, especially because I had people screenshotting it, DMing me, going, "You're on my launcher." I went into work the next day and my boss looked at me and went, "My kid was playing Overwatch last night and I swear you were on the launcher." And I'm like, "Yep." So like just having that moment of actually getting recognised by such a big company like Blizzard and getting to be on the launcher for a game that I was so passionate about, like that was huge. And companies are becoming better and better at that, like Overwatch and Diablo and stuff, and even other games. I think League of Legends sometimes does it as well. Like on the launches, they will highlight creators from the region and stuff, and it's such a huge moment, I think, for creators to get their face up there and to be recognised by the brands. So yeah, what was that face?
Yes.
Get your face up there. Like this.
What do you mean? It's such a great face. Look at it. It's beautiful.
That's a great photo.
Question time with Jaden. Did we have any other questions from the audience about content creation? Yeah, we got one over here.
What's your favorite video that you've made?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh, okay. I might go first. So when I was streaming full time, I used to collaborate quite often with a creator. His name is Point Crow, and he makes a lot of the Legend of Zelda videos. And so we did a Legend of Zelda bingo multiplayer race, and it's probably one of my best performing videos yet, and it is one of my favorite videos. I had so much fun creating it, and it just speaks volumes to collaborating with people in the community. It was so fun. I had so much fun making it, which meant that I think people see when you're having fun, so it, you know, it showed.
Me, my favorite video is probably not even about gaming. It's probably all of my vlogs. I think my vlogs kind of show a different side that you don't usually get to see. So it's just more fun and exciting to just see what I do outside of content. So I think those are my favorite videos to make. Yeah.
I want to say, yeah, mine is probably the same as you. Like my vlogs, and especially the travel ones. Like I was lucky enough, like we've made some friends over in New Zealand, and so we got to go over there for my birthday 2 years ago, and I created just a little vlog out of all of the live photos that I took and some little videos and things, and I've uploaded that to YouTube. And I think it's the video that I just like to even go and watch back of myself. That sounds really weird. But yeah, I just love to relive those memories because I feel like without streaming and without Twitch, I wouldn't have met my partner, I wouldn't have met like these friends, I wouldn't have gone to New Zealand, and they were like our tour guides and just took us everywhere, and we got to go to Hobbiton on my birthday, and it was just really cool.
It's like memories, like looking back at it, having like a little capsule of that.
Well, that's why I make the event vlogs and stuff as well, because even though I would love to share the events with everyone, I'm also like, how cool, I did this thing and I got to go experience everything, and yeah, it's like a little memory box, yeah.
Yeah, I got a few. every video I make is my favorite. Now, I think last year, the big one that was really fun to make and it was just really exciting was probably Aftershock sending me out a $10,000 PC to review and unbox. That was...
Did you get to keep it?
I'll tell you after. I'll tell you the story.
It's an offline discussion.
I won't say it here, but no, that was really cool. Yeah, I guess what these guys are saying as well, the vlogs and stuff like that, like doing my Jurassic events from the exhibition center, vlogging that, having those memories of meeting Universal and stuff like that. I feel like I have another one somewhere. I'll probably say my biggest video, which I didn't expect, but that's my Skull Candy review. They do headsets and stuff like that. That was like my biggest ever video. I don't know what it's sitting on now, but last time I looked, it was on like 20K. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorites as well.
Amazing. I think my favorite videos are actually quite recent, and they're my TikTok videos. I started this year creating Path of Exile guides for people that didn't understand how to play Path of Exile. Now, Path of Exile is a game that's over 10 years old. It's incredibly complex, and I myself didn't understand how to play it, and my partner's been playing it for over 10 years. It's like, it's the best game. It's my favorite game. You have to play this game. Like, fine. It took me 3 seasons and almost 400 hours in the game to finally understand the game. And then once I did, I was like, oh, this game is amazing, and everybody else needs to understand how amazing it is. But I realized the barrier to entry for Path of Exile is just so insane, and there's just so much that people did not know about that game that I didn't know about that game. So I started creating these tutorials on TikTok being like, by the way, did you know you could do this? And like just telling people how to play the things and do things in the game. And I had people commenting on it being like, I have like 5,000 hours in this game and I didn't know you could do that. And I was like, welcome to Path of Exile. So I think my favorite thing is being able to help others in a video game so that they understand how to play it better. I've even had someone recently, the sort of latest league started of Path of Exile. We just started a new one, and people were asking me, what are you playing for your starter? Because that's what your starter class is. And I was like, oh, I'm not sure yet. And people were like, oh, I followed your starter for the last 3 leagues and I finally made it to endgame. And I was like, oh my God. Like, so just being able to actually help people who are also passionate about a game get further in the game has been really fun for me. And so I think those are probably my favorite games because I feel like I'm actually helping other people enjoy something I enjoy as well. So yeah. Next question, anyone? Oh, we've got one down the front here. Amazing.
So, just talking about like Diablo streaming and that sort of thing. When you have something like the Diablo 3 to Diablo 4 change, do you stick with Diablo 3 because it's the one that you love, or switch to Diablo 4 because that's what people are interested in now?
Ooh, okay. So the question was switching between games, so when there's a new release, say going from Diablo 3 to Diablo 4. And to be honest, we could all probably answer this in the scope of talking about just brand new games and whether to stream them. So for me, I went on to streaming Diablo 4 because I was given codes and stuff from Blizzard and I got access to like do that. So I actually got a video, there's actually a video up on my YouTube on the Diablo 4 beta because I actually got access to do that. So that's a hard one because I did stream it because it was right for my audience and right for what I did. So I was doing already Diablo, I was doing Blizzard games like Overwatch, now I'm doing Path of Exile. So like it made sense for me and my audience. But and it makes sense for like Last Epoch, like because that's also an action RPG. But like when another new game comes out, like I'm trying to think of a game that's come out recently or is coming out that like okay, Hades 2 is coming out at some point this year. That's going to be such a cool game, but I don't think I'd stream it because it's not right for my audience. It doesn't make sense. I'd probably lose viewers, to be honest, because they're not into that game. I think at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong. Like, you can change to a different game if you want to play it, but at the end of the day, if you do not like that game and you do not enjoy that game and you're just playing that game because it's the newest thing, it doesn't mean it's going to do well. Because people can tell. People can tell when you don't like a game and you're just playing it for the sake of it. I also think there's something to be said about the size of you as a creator. So, like, I'm a really, really small creator. If a brand new game comes out and I don't play it, people don't really care. You've got a creator like Ziggy D in Australia, who's one of the biggest Path of Exile creators, or Quinn, who's one of the biggest creators in Diablo and Path of Exile and that. If they didn't play that new game, their whole entire community, like thousands of viewers, would be like, why are you not playing this new game? And it makes so much sense for them to do it. But you'll find sometimes those new games are absolutely flooded with people streaming it, and if you're a massive creator, it makes 100% sense. But for me as a small creator, sometimes not. So I think as a small creator, I always think like, am I going to enjoy the game? Is it right for my audience and my community? And does anyone I am creating this content for care about it? Because if they don't, like, Stardew Valley came out with an update lately. I love playing Stardew Valley. if I played that on stream, my audience would be like, this is very different from Path of Exile. Like, it'd be so weird, but it's a great game. So I think you need to analyze what's right for you and your content. Yeah, but I'll let someone else.
I think you said everything that I would have said. no, it's good. Yeah, I truly don't have much to add to that. Yeah, I think, looking at your audience and not just jumping on the bandwagon. Like, I think a good example, I mean, for me personally, being a Zelda creator, Tears of the Kingdom came out, and it made sense for my community to play that, for me to play that with my community, but, you know, I enjoy so many other games as well, and I find, especially, probably a good way to look at this as well is having games for yourself, and they don't have to be shared with your community. So I love playing, you know, Stardew Valley, for example. It doesn't really resonate with my community, but it's a game that I just have for myself and that I don't necessarily need to share online. Like, I'm allowed to have those games offline as well. So I think, yeah, to your point, yeah, look at your audience, see what would resonate, and go from there.
Yeah, okay, I can jump in. I think that's a question that's sort of like, are you a variety streamer or are you a niche streamer? Because if you're variety, then you can play anything, and that's what your community is there for. They're more there for your personality and who you are and like whatever you want to do that day. Whereas if you're a niche streamer and you play this one game, it can be detrimental to play another game, but it doesn't hurt to do a one-off stream and see how it goes. And because it's like making a jump from Diablo 3 to Diablo 4, it's not too different, so it still will cater to your audience and maybe what they want. And if it's not what you're interested in, you don't like the game, you want to jump back to your game, then it doesn't hurt. You gave it a try, and it was a one-off stream. You can stream another 364 days of the year playing Diablo 3, you know?
100%, because I call myself a variety streamer, so I will play like 5 games in one stream sometimes. I just do whatever at this point, and my community is always going to be there. I think that's what I love about it as well, because like I know that they're here for me, and they always say, oh, like, we don't care what you play, like just play whatever you like as long as you're having fun. If you're not having fun, then just switch games, and that's been very like rewarding, because I know they're here for me and not the game itself, so I can play like whatever game that I like now, so it's nice.
All right, we have time probably for one last question. So is there one last question? Anyone else like to ask anything else in the crowd while you have us up here? If not, that's totally fine, but this is your opportunity. Nope. All right. Okay, well then, I think we'll just quickly, where can we find each of us? I know it was at the beginning of the thing, but Trash, if I wanted to know more about you and your amazing creation, where would I find you?
You can find me at Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter. On Twitch, I'm just Trash. Don't mind the name, but everywhere else is Tiny and Trash, but yeah.
Maybe I'll go back. Hang on.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
There we go. Tiny and Trash. So if you want to go over to Twitter, fine. Yeah, yes, we're calling it Twitter, everybody. That's just what we're sticking with. So Tiny and Trash. And Alex.
Yeah. Hello. Yes. You can find me NJayHighwayss on most platforms except for Twitter or X is AlexandraLynne Twitch. But yeah, definitely come and say hi in the comments.
Awesome. And Jaden.
My bad. Yeah, NJayHighwayss on everything. Yeah, please sub, please follow. Doesn't hurt.
Please like and subscribe.
Yeah, please. We did an avatar video yesterday on Fortnite, and I'm going to get an avatar tattoo in about a couple minutes, like 40 minutes.
He has to like run right after this.
That's fine.
Amazing. And Ellie.
I am Just Ellie will do on all platforms. I do want to quickly say, if you have a unique creator name that you have, try your best to get it on every social media platform as soon as possible so you can have it, because someone will jump in and take it and have 0 followers on Twitch, and you might have to add another S to your name or like TCB or something else. So yeah, if you have a name like already in mind, jump on it. But yeah, I'm Just Ellie will do on every social media platform.
Awesome. And if you do want to know more about me, I'm Domino_Jack on Twitter. Also the same on Twitch. My TikTok though is DominoJack, because platforms be different with usernames. But yeah, otherwise, look, thank you guys so much for being here today. I hope everyone in the crowd has enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for being here. And yeah, good luck everyone with your content creation journeys. And if you want, stick around. We're going to be going into another panel straight after this, which is going to be gaming trivia, and it's going to have some awesome prizes. So yeah, stick around, because we've got the wonderful Reeps, who's also an amazing creator, who's going to be hosting. Oh, look, he's here in the crowd. Hi, Reeps. So he's going to be doing a fantastic gaming trivia right after this and test all your knowledge. But yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.